Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, third-year quarterback Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys take on a man back for a 15th NFL season, Eli Manning and the New York Football Giants. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they come in riding high, just 1 loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
This will be fielded at the 8. Oh, look at the juke. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback, a multiple-time Pro Bowler. It's, of course, Eli Manning.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's going to take it. They got his man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one goes for 36 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
To throw, it's Manning. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here in the game's opening drive. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. Second down. And we take a look now at the New York offense.
Great time to focus on a healthy group of pass catchers. How about Odell Beckham, Sterling Shepard, and Evan Ingram? Because health is the key for them. When they're right, they stack up against just about any threesome in the NFL. 2 terrific wide receivers and a tight end that's hard to cover.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and make.
And he's got his man. Beckham. Touchdown, Giants. Odell Beckham. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Giants take it right down and score on the opening drive. This is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Rosas good with the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. closest now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by Dak Prescott, the 135th pick of the draft back in 2016 from Mississippi State.
And it felt like it watching the game tape. He got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. One touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves it.
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. So we'll look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
9 yards on the pickup that time, so he got more than half of it back. But it's still a 3rd and 8. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
He hits Beasley right side. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Oh, nice move. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. Giants taking the field again here. And, this is a team that got off to that woeful 1-7 start. They rallied a bit in the second half of the season here to get a few wins, but I don't think playing spoiler is what Pat Shurmur had in mind for his first season.
No, I don't believe that as well, and I think there were a lot of visions of going from worst to first in their division with Pat Shurmur as the head coach in addition to Saquon Barkley and getting the offense back on track with Odell Beckham Jr. being healthy again. But I go back to the Saquon Barkley move, picking him number 2 in the draft last year. Still hear criticism that the Giants should have taken a quarterback and built that way. They took the best rookie in the draft who's played above expectations. I would make the same pick every single time and find a way to build around him.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. And a look at the defense for the Cowboys.
The anchor of this Cowboys defense is linebacker Sean Lee. Finished with 118 tackles despite missing 4 full games and the majority of another one in 2017. And you can absolutely see it's a different defense when he's on the field as opposed to when he's off of it. Agile, diagnoses plays well, and a fierce tackler.
Manning going to try and throw on 3rd down. And he can't quite corral it defensively. Maybe some space to go the other direction if he had caught it. That brings up 4th down now.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Well, partners, the Cowboys come back out here. I want to ask you to assess the season. The first couple months of the year for Dallas starting to look like they'd be sitting at home in January. Then the Amari Cooper trade comes. They breeze through November unbeaten, part of a 5-game winning streak. But then, a real head-scratcher, Week 15, they get shut out in Indianapolis.
You just wonder if all the wins that got them there, those 5, which were all tough, physical, hard-hitting battles, if it took a little bit out of them before they went on the road and lost Indianapolis in Week 15. But if they get to the playoffs, which it looks like they're going to, are they a threat to New Orleans? Are they a threat to Los Angeles? Are they a threat to Chicago? To me, they are only if it's a low-scoring, physical affair. That's when Dallas plays at its best, and that's what they'll have to do to reduce some of those high-flying teams like New Orleans and Los Angeles.
On second down, Elliott. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They'll run with Elliott. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Alec Ogletree. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
He's going to sling this deep downfield. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Manning will try again on second down. Over the middle to Beckham. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
But that's the kick starter right there. Eli Manning finding his guy, Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah, it's a deadly combination, isn't it?
It really is, but what really makes it work is just how unflappable Eli is with his demeanor, able to maintain his calm and his poise, because we know OBJ, he can run pretty hot and get excited out there.
Sometimes just one-handed grabs for him.
It doesn't matter what it is. Just throw it up there. He'll go get it.
On second down, here's Manning. Floating one, incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up third down.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue.
And he's got his man. Beckham. Touchdown, Giants. Beckham with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Giants add on to their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And that makes our score 17-0. Rosas now to kick this one away. On the return, it's Jordan Lewis. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now here come the Cowboys. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football. Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Prescott now on second down. And his throw is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And this is going to be incomplete.
sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. Beckham, the return. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And out will come the offense as they take over. Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. And he is closing in on the 100-yard mark for the day.
And it appears that he loved the fact that they're going to play this game earlier. You know, daytime, he's out there running around, feeling good about himself. Whatever his prep was coming in, he was able to get out there quick and fire away.
Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 at the 45. Manning. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on second down. Hey, we got a second here. Let's go back to Week 15 following the win over Green Bay for Chicago. Happiness rained down on the field. The Bears claiming the NFC North title, but one Bear took his celebration to an extreme. I know you saw this.
Yes, I certainly did. Charles Leno Jr., left tackle for the Chicago Bears, got down on a knee and proposed to his girlfriend Jennifer. So not only celebrating an NFC North title, but now his proposal accepted by Jennifer, who will now be Mrs. Jennifer Leno Jr.? No Junior.
No Junior. By the way, smart move because she's not going to say no in front of 60,000 people.
Well, I've seen it happen before. Not pretty, but not in this case.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang at Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 1st and 10, Prescott, his throw incomplete. Well, partner, league-wide, I think we're set up for a wild month of January. It seems like this season, more than others, we've had a number of teams that you maybe say, hey, they're the Super Bowl favorites. Kind of the Rams early, then it was the Chiefs. Patriots kept winning, and the Saints, and now, heck, maybe even the Texans or the Bears could claim that moniker.
Yeah, it's going to make for a wild month of January. And you just wonder right now, are we missing a team or two that's just a little bit outside the playoff hunt? Could they get hot and be those teams you don't want to play and carry that momentum all the way to the Super Bowl? Yes, I'm looking at the Indianapolis Colts as one of those teams.
Here's Prescott. Looking and finding Allen Hurns. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Here's a give to Barkley. And he's going to be taken down here at about the 10. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll begin in Orchard Park, an AFC East matchup between Miami and Buffalo. And it's the Dolphins who have the lead in that one. Ryan Tannehill's thrown a touchdown there. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting Jags who are out in front. Keelan Cole, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. And they trail the visiting Lions in that one. Matthew Stafford, 3 touchdown passes.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Well, some news that gave us a chuckle, and we could all use that around the holiday season. Josh Johnson, a great story. He was back home in Oakland when the Redskins called to see if he'd like to join him for the remainder of the season. So how did he get to know his new teammates? Well, what did he do? He turned to the Madden game, Charles.
Yeah, that's how you learn who they are, right? Learn what they do, have some tendencies, get some ideas about their speed and what they do well and maybe what they don't do so well. And it really helped him acclimate and got himself a big victory in Week 15 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. How about the bloodline of Josh Johnson, though? Also related to Marshawn Lynch of the Oakland Raiders and Marcus Peters of the Los Angeles Rams.
Pretty good company. And that is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Ezekiel Elliott, and now it's second down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Looking to throw, Prescott. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Olivier Vernon in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Don't think with 3 scores down in the third quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. Now Manning. And this is Shepard on the catch. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down. He's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns. And he takes it into the end zone for a giant TD. Saquon Barkley, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Giants are able to grow their lead.
We got a little bit of everything on that run. Offensive line creating some space, but how about the guy running behind his pads into the end zone?
What does that mean when a guy says running behind his pads?
Means that he's going to be a physical runner. That way he's able to use his shoulder pads, his forearms, anything to ward off people and power his way forward.
Rosas good with the extra point, and the lead is now 24. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Rosas now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now Prescott. And that'll be incomplete. Cole Beasley the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Well, partner, like we always do this time of year with the holidays here and me happy for once. I want to say happy holidays to you, to your family, and to everybody out there in Madden land.
I like how you said that. Before I do go on, though, happy holidays to you, your family, and everyone out there in Madden land as well. And hope that they're safe and they're happy and successful holidays for all. But as you said, happy for once. Usually you're kind of a Grinch this time of year. What's going on?
Yeah, well, my heart grew 3 sizes this winter.
I love it. I love it. Gotta get you some new clothes to accommodate that big chest.
But enjoy the holidays, everyone. Eat, be merry, enjoy your family time. And that's incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here's Beckham. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Manning. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Get a knife.
And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Tyrone Crawford in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Well, it was 2nd long, now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
And now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. And out now come the Cowboys. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. They stop it for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get more rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A first down carry for Barkley. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
He's going to let, and he finds Shepard. Touchdown, Giants. Sterling Shepard, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants have got it on cruise control. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And the lead will swell by 1 more. And here's Lewis. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive. You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around to make the play on the football.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Wide open receiver complete. He got 29 yards that time.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, Great hand-eye coordination. Guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Second down, Prescott. And this one brought in by Gathers. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Flush to his right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Kareem Martin in there to get him for a loss of 5.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
And with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Michael Thomas on the stop. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 3rd and goal now as they try to punch in a late touchdown. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid.
Corey Coleman. He's at the 40. Past the 20. 10. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Rosas good with the extra point. And that will extend this big lead. So he takes it from 2 yards deep all the way down the field into the other end zone. Add it all up, a 102-yard return on the kickoff. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And here's Lewis. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time.
Oh, Prescott stripped. And who's got it? The Giants.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Throwing now is Manning. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. PAT up and good by Rosas. And the lead will swell by one more. Rosas now to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
I'm going to forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo
exactly.
going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today, coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, a 22. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A gain of 39 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Giants, they do get the victory here in the season finale, but it was altogether a disappointing season as they wind up at 6-10. And by just about all accounts, not the type of year they were hoping to have. Meanwhile, for Dallas, this might wind up being a tough pill to swallow as they're going to finish the season at 9-7. And as division champs, they will host a playoff game next week in the wild card round. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.